The biggest reason why most people fail at e-commerce is because they focus on the wrong thing at the wrong stage. And so now today we're going to talk about what actually matters when you're scaling at 1K, 10K, and 100K a month, guys. And it's going to be a very interesting video. It's going to be a very fun video at the same time. And I'm talking as someone who's already done 100K. Matter of fact, actually, in November, we did over $200,000. So being at that 1K, 10K, and 100K mark for a few years now, I can confidently tell you what's actually going to allow you to scale, whether you're a beginner, whether you're intermediate, or whether you're a pro. This is what I rank based on my personal experience. And without further ado, let's get started. Here we have the D tier, C, B, and S tier. And over here, we have the 1K, 10K, 100K mark of which of these actually apply to which. So it's going to be ranked on how good it is, but at the same time, what stage you should have it in, right? So we got a few going on here. We got all our systems kind of piled up here. So let's kind of go through these and tell you which ones you should be focusing on. And keep in mind, only amplify your focus on what stage you're on, and then maybe implement these other ones once you start getting to that level. But this is what I think is absolutely worth it, depending on what stage you're in. So first on the list, we have bundles. So bundling essentially, guys, is when someone decides to purchase more than one of your items. So let's say I have this owl right here, guys. Let's say someone wants to buy two owls. Instead of paying $10 for one, and if they buy another one, $20, they buy two for $15. They save $5, and it's cheaper for you to ship it out. Therefore, you're making more money, and you're also getting a better deal. So for bundles, I'm going to go ahead and place this on the 10K. The reason why I'm not going to place this on the 1K a month is because honestly, guys, this is more like a testing phase kind of level. So this is more going to be categorized like around the 1K, and this is around 10K and around the six-figure range. The reason why is because like 1K guys, you're still learning to scale, right? You're still trying to figure things out. By no means are you ready trying to optimize for more money, because you're still trying to figure out how to actually sell your product. Bundles is going to allow you for more AOV once you already prove a concept. That's why I'm going to go ahead and place bundles at this 10K. And as for the actual systems, we're going to go ahead and place bundles at the A tier. So this is going to increase AOV. This can determine whether you scale aggressively or not a lot of the time. So definitely amazing. Now we have upsells. Upsells can go a few ways. They can have it on your page. You can have it on your main page, and then you could also have it on your product page, and you could also have it on the post-purchase upsell. So when they finish purchasing something, they get another pop-up of a similar item in your shop, and they can go ahead and purchase this. So upsells are kind of similar to bundles. I would actually say they're probably a little less than bundles. So we're going to go ahead and put in B tier again. This is my experience. Some people, their websites do absolutely amazing with upsells. For me personally, they have been good, but again, not absolutely anything like mind breaking for your website. So we're going to go ahead and place upsells again at the 10K mark. So these are just optimizing for more money. Why are you going to optimize for more money when you're still proving a factor? Therefore, it's going to stay at the 1K a month. Now, AOV optimization. AOV optimization really determines if you're going to scale or not, right? So think about it like this. AOV is how much you're getting per order. So the more you get, the more you can actually put into ads, and the more you can scale aggressively. So high AOV is super duper important. For that reason, I'm actually going to put AOV optimization at S tier, because if you don't really optimize for this, you can get capped really hard at your scaling. Now, AOV optimization kind of applies to all of this, right? Of course, you want more money no matter what stage you're in, but it's more important when you're scaling, because this can determine how far you really go with scaling, right? If you're optimizing for what, 40, and then now you want $60 AOV, it helps from the beginning and middle phase, but when you're doing six figures a month, that determines whether you go from 100 to 500K on how aggressively you scale. So AOV optimization is definitely going to come at the six-figure range, but it definitely applies to all of these. Now let's talk UGC creators. UGC creators can be the heart of your brand. If you can just hire one girl to make you like 30 videos a day, 30 videos a month for around like $500, she can provide all the content you need to test creatives, and that can literally make or break your brand. So for that purpose, UGC creators, I'm also going to put it at the S tier, because let's be honest, if you guys are building a brand, a lot of you guys don't want to show off the products and make your own content. If you can get cheap UGC creators but great quality, this can definitely make or break your brand. And I'm going to go ahead and put this at the 10K. So again, here you're still kind of optimizing for, just generally trying to pick something up. 10K, you already found a proven concept. You just have to scale it. I would say you just see more around the 30K mark, but we have 110 and 100K here. And then, of course, this is mandatory at this level too. But for the most part, you want to incorporate it when you start to hit this level. Now, AI UGC. So you guys might have heard about actually, UGC, like creators or people who are AI. Now, me personally, I've had some friends play around with it and it doesn't work that well. I'm going to put AI UGC around like a D tier. It's not exactly where we want it to be yet. If you want to play around with UGC, then I would go ahead and start playing around with this. I guess when you're already like optimizing pretty well, I wouldn't even do it at this stage because it's still kind of fragile. If you're really expanding already, you can kind of test around and play to even increase your revenue, but I don't really suggest AI UGC yet for much. Next one, we have Triple Whale. So Triple Whale tells you your exact margin. So you put in how much your cost of goods are, you put in how much you're spending on ads, you put in how much all your expenses are running you. Now, you'll see a lot of high level guys end up actually use Triple Whale, but by no means do you want to use this at 1K. This is just kind of act professional. 10K a month, I think it's kind of dragging it too. I think once you're like 30, 50K a month, you can incorporate it in, but I guess that would lean I guess I would kind of lean more towards this. I would do a higher margin. Now, guys, when I play anything around a 10K, keep in mind maybe like 10, 30K is kind of the range there. This beginner stuff, you don't want to spend a few $100 a month on Triple Whale for absolutely no reason. And up to here, I'm going to go ahead and put Triple Whale on the A tier. It's good to go ahead and make sure you're, keeping track of your margins, your revenue. This thing will make sure you're actually profitable on your days. That way you don't have to be doing numbers every single day or every single week, however you go about it. So really good, useful tool. Organic content. Organic content is going to go in between A and S tier. This is kind of a hard one. Now, of course, you don't want to rely on organic content to fuel your brand by no means whatsoever. But at the same time, this is going to build you online. We're going to put out the A tier just because a lot of brands actually do go about ads and they have low organic presence, but they can still pull 7, 8 figures. But again, when you're building a brand, guys, organic presence is super, super helpful, super, super useful, and can determine whether you build a community or not. So organic presence is definitely going to go to A tier. And as for down here, we're going to go ahead and put organic presence. I really do think organic presence is super helpful, but again, at this beginner stage, by no means you need this. 10K is a perfect place to put it. This is where you're building your Instagram out, you're building your TikTok out, and you're posting your content that your creators make you. So we're going to go ahead and put it there. Low key, guys, we might have to start making these smaller because we're getting a lot filled in here. All right, omnipresence. So omnipresence is similar to organic. Now, I think the only difference in organic is you're really just posting on TikTok, IG, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. Omnipresence, I think, would apply more to ads as well. So the way I go about it is like Google, for example, you're running ads on Google, running ads on Snapchat. If you're already like huge, running ads on Facebook, TikTok, whatever, etc. I would take omnipresence and go ahead and put it actually on this S tier. You want to make sure you're running on everything and you're not relying on only one engine to generate you sales. Otherwise, if that engine fails, you are in a very, very bad place. And for omnipresence, I'm going to go ahead and also put it here. You want to start it quick. You don't want to wait forever for omnipresence. This is going to quickly allow you to scale, allow you to make sure you have eyes everywhere, and essentially super useful. Website design. So website design is actually very overrated in my opinion. I've seen some really shitty websites make a lot of money just because their trust was there and their ads were really good. So in terms of your website design, I'm going to put a B tier. By no means is it like essential, but of course you want a good website. You want something to convert, especially if your product has a higher perception of price. You do want it to look pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on B tier. Not the most important thing, but you do want it to look good. And I'm going to go ahead and put this down here. It's going to be our first 1,000. Because one, you need a website, you need to design it. So this can apply here. You want to start optimizing your design literally when you start selling and doing e-commerce. Social proof. So for social proof, this one's kind of interesting, guys. So this is like testimonials, reviews. This actually is really helpful for ads and especially your website. I'm going to put an A tier, guys. Getting those testimonials in, those videos, having your brand on a box, people showing it. Even just organic videos on TikTok, people posting, yo, look what I got online. This is super helpful. So for that reason, it's going to be an A tier. And down here, I'm going to put it also on the $1,000. You already want to start collecting social proof, whether you're making up your own testimonials, whether you're making your own reviews, whatever it is, social proof has to start right away. Otherwise, people might not trust your website as much. Email SMS. Email SMS is going to go to S tier. You will see a lot of big brands. They can actually make up to like 20, 30% of their revenue just based on email SMS. When we're talking like 100K a month, that's an extra 20, 30K in your wallet in revenue. And plus, you don't have to pay for ads on that. So the profit margins are even higher, unless you're paying your agency who runs your email and SMS. Margins drop. But super duper helpful. This is how you can build a community too. This is probably one of the easier ones I go into S tier. You want people to get notifications of a new drop, something, whatever. This is how you build community. This is how you get recurring revenue. Super duper helpful. And I would put this at like the 30K mark. So it's definitely going to go into the top, and it's also going to go down here. But if I would have to place it, I would place it at the 6-figure mark. That it would essentially be a little bit more important. Email SMS, definitely a beautiful add-on. MMR, recurring revenue. Now this depends on how you do it, cleanly, dirtily. There's a few ways to go about it, but we're just going to talk about monthly recurring revenue in general. I'm going to place monthly recurring revenue at S tier. So a lot of people, they can stop selling running ads and just build off their MRR, especially if they're doing it cleanly, goodly. You can sell at a higher margin, right? So that means you could sell your brand for, I believe it's like 4 or 5, even 6 times what normal e-com stores would go for, just because you have active MRR. Of course, you want to do this in a way that actually makes sense. So if it's jewelry, it's a bit harder. If it's let's say like clothing, it's easier, right? You can send a pair of socks or something every month. So again, this is obviously going to go in the 6-figure range. You do not want to have MRR on any of this, especially when you're starting at the beginning. But it's super essential, super helpful, super good. Spy tools. This one's a mixed bag. So when there's a way of going about spy tools, right? So you have spy tools that like allow you, like Calidata, which if you ask me about Calidata, I'd probably put in C tier. But spy tools can also apply to like looking at people's revenue and sales, which by no means is there a website to do that. Anyone who claims a website can track sales and stuff like that is lying to your face. They don't have access to resources like that. But there are, generally speaking, good spy tools. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and put this in the B tier. I just wouldn't, if we're talking about spy tools to like look at people's sales and analytics, that's obviously D tier. But general spy tools, I'm just going to put it, actually, I want to put it on C tier. Yeah, we're going to put it on C tier. I've done multiple 6, 7 figures, and I've actually never used spy tools on at the beginning when I was a beginner. And even then I was a beginner. That's why I used them. And then again, spy tools, I guess it's more for beginner starting, trying to figure something out. So $1,000 range goes ahead and makes sense. Virtual assistant. So virtual assistant, I'm going to go ahead and place this at the A tier. So what the virtual assistant do is going to manage like your complaints, your refunds, your questions, your emails. It can handle even the more boring stuff that like you want to delegate. The VA can be very sensitive for that, especially like a Pakistani. It'll be very cheap, very good. And for that reason, oops, that's the wrong one. And for that reason, we're going to go ahead and incorporate VA into, I would say around 10K a month. It's actually pretty good. 10, 20K a month is good to hire VA a few hours a day. You're going to be like paying like 100, 200 bucks a month for them. And they're going to take that stress off your shoulders of customers reaching out, being mad, whatever, etc. So media buyers. Now, media buyers, I'm going to go ahead and place them on the B tier. Now, I have ran through media buyers as if I was a high school girl, okay? I've tried a bunch of media buyers, and the truth is they will never understand and know your website and your customer base and your ads better than you. So I would suggest always going out and learning how to run your own ads. And that's how like a lot of people that I know, how I do it, we scale to 6, 7 figures by ourselves. Now, I have hired media buyers in the past, but they're very neutral. Like, sure, you'll be profitable, but you also have to pay them a few thousand a month in retainers. So essentially, yes, they're there, but honestly, I think you can do the same without them. So for that reason, they're B tier. And of course, media buyers is going to go up here into 6-figure range. By no means, if you're making 10K a month, should you pay someone 2 to 3, even 5K just to run your ads. So it's going to go up here, but I'm going to put it right here in like the the B tier. Next, branding. Branding is going to go to A tier. Most dropshipping stores that survive selling 1 or 2 items for a month or two die out quickly because they don't have an approach to branding and they're selling a seasonal product. You need to learn how to brand urgently, have custom packaging, have quick shipping times, and build a community if you want a brand that will last years. So that's going to go into A tier. And this should start immediately. So of course, you're trying to figure things out, but you also still want to be looking at custom logos. You want to be making sure a supplier can make everything look pretty. You want to make sure you're already starting to build a community. By no means am I saying have a brand at 1K a month, but I'm saying get ready to start branding if you want something with longevity. Now, delegation, handing things to other people. So when we talk about media buyers, people to run your email and SMS campaign, all of that, etc., delegation kind of applies to that. So we're going to go ahead and put it to A tier. Now, of course, when you're beginning, by no means should you delegate. You should learn everything and become a master at it. So delegation would probably go into the 100K, probably at 50K, you can kind of start some delegation. But this is definitely going to make sure you put more higher quality work with actually putting less attention into it. Delegation is very important, but not immediately. AI tools is going to go into, I'm going to see between A and B. I'm going to lean in more towards B. There are actually some pretty good AI tools that even I use that you can like just straight up copy people's pages onto yours. And then of course you get rid of all of their bull crap, but you keep their photos, like similar prices. So there are better AI tools than that. AI tools right now actually aren't that bad. You know, there are actually some pretty good AI tools out there. So for that reason, it'll go into B. I'm going to go ahead and put AI tools into around here. You can start using them, or even at the 1K mark, you can kind of start using them. Yeah, I put it at the 1K, you can kind of start using these. By no means is like something crazy or hard to do, but you have access to some tools that can kind of speed up the process in building your website or even adding trust, right? Paid ads, S tier. This is probably the number one S tier in everything. Paid ads is what's going to determine if you make money from this, and especially long term. When we talk about things like organic content, the reason why it's an A is because it's unpredictable and volatile. Literally, you can post some organic content, have it blow up, and then the next week make it like 1,000 views and make nothing out of it. Paid ads will make sure that you are consistently making money and that you're consistently optimizing for better ads. Therefore, you will always have something going on as long as you're optimizing for more ads and you're scaling. So paid ads, that's how you start right away. I don't suggest organic right away. I suggest some paid ads right away, whether it's for Facebook, Meta, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it might be, Google too. Google would probably apply more to this range, but definitely paid ads starts immediately. Trust badges. So when we talk about trust badges, this is just things like 24/7 support. You have safe and secure checkout near like your buttons to like purchase. Trust badge is going to go into A. This is really important. Sometimes, for the most part, you know, you want people to feel safe purchasing on your website. So yeah, trust badges are up there, and we're going to go ahead and put it at $1,000 because one, it's pretty easy to add, and of course, it can help conversions. So at $1,000, you should already be adding stuff like that. Community building. So some niches you can't really even community build like that. But like if you're like in clothing or jewelry, it's kind of easier. But if you're like selling like I don't know, like a home decor, it's kind of hard to community build on this. So community building can go in A tier as well. Can be very helpful. Can sustain a brand longevity. Truth is, a lot of brands probably won't be able to community build. But if you are able to community build, good for you. Keep it going. This will keep your brand living for a long time. Think like Young LA, Gymshark, right? Have big community behind them. But there's also a bunch of brands that do that too. Community building should probably go up here because let's be honest, at 10K a month, 1K a month, no one knows who you are. And even 100K a month is even not that crazy. For community building, you probably got to do a few six figures for a real community. Private supplier, S tier. Private suppliers are arguably can like really make or break how successful your store is, because if you get chargebacks because cheap shit, or if you get chargebacks because it wasn't quick enough, that can kind of push you back and hold you back a bit. Private suppliers should help you out with that, and they'll give you best rates, and it'll be a one-on-one communication. I don't suggest using softwares like AutoDS and Drop, whatever. This commercial is not bad because they're not really meant to help you as much as a private supplier would. Private supplier goes all the way down to 1,000 a month. I would definitely suggest a private supplier right off the rip and do not use any softwares. Product quality, again, S tier. Why product quality is so important? It determines if your brand is actually successful for a long time. When we talk about referrals, when we talk about SMS and email, it's because people already assume it's good quality because they purchased in the past. You don't want to ruin that perception. So make sure you actually have good quality in your products. Your private supplier can help you improve products, make it a little pricier. But at that point, they will also help you scale more aggressively because people know your product is actually good. Now, I actually forgot to put it down here, I believe. Product quality should begin around 10K. The reason I wouldn't put it at 1K, simply because you're still figuring things out here, you're still learning. Product quality isn't the biggest issue yet. It will become if you keep it cheap, but at this stage, it's not the most important thing. It becomes more important around 10K. Shipping times. People overlook shipping times. People would be like, oh, shipping times, like it can determine dropshipping is bad, takes forever. Not really. You'd be surprised. A lot of people can actually be patient, but by no means is that an excuse to have shitty shipping times. Always optimize for faster shipping. If you can build a brand, have it sent in mass to a warehouse, and then ship out from a warehouse, you get 2 to 4 days shipping instead of 6 to 12 typical drop shipping times. So Sometimes it's A tier. Again, it's not the most important thing, but again, it is really important as well. That's why it's going to be in A tier, and then it's going to go around the 10K mark here down below, simply because here again you're optimizing to actually learn and just build something. 10K, you're already having something starting to pick up. That's where shipping times will actually come into handy. Make sure you optimize for decent shipping times. Credit cards. Credit cards, I would place between A and S tier. So I would pretty much put credit cards as a scaling method in S tier, simply because you can get a lot of points off that. You don't have to pay right away, right? You get 30 days free time here to kind of pay. You build your credit at the same time, and you build history with, like, let's say if you get a credit card, JP Morgan, Amex, you build history with them. You make your way towards cooler cards. And on top of that, you have a way bigger budget, which means you can spend very aggressively on ads without having to like run into cash flow issues, especially if you're scaling aggressively. Credit cards definitely get a good rep on that. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this maybe around like a 50K mark. So at 10K a month, you don't need a credit card. So we're gonna put at 6 figures, even though like between 10, maybe like 50K, you can kind of start incorporating credit cards in. Disputifier. Disputifier is gonna go into maybe like an A tier. A lot of people like the Speedify. Recently, they actually had like they were hacked or something, so that does not look good on them. Hopefully, they can still continue with longevity and everyone gets their money back. But the Speedifier, I would have it around like 50K mark, so we're gonna go ahead and put it to 6 figures. The Speedifier is simply a software that kind of tracks before you get charged back, like the bank. They're in contact with them. And they let you know ahead of time, that way you can refund the customer. You don't have to deal with that. So the Speedifier are pretty good. And then we got urgency apps. Think like banners, for example. Oh, the sale ends in 23 minutes, 24 hours, flash sale going on, 70%. Whether it's urgency or apps, this will go into, I would place this kind of like a B plus tier, but for the sake of this being overpacked, we'll put it on a B tier. Urgency apps can help get some quicker purchases. People think less about it, so super useful, super good. I always have these on my side, especially if they look clean. You don't want a cheap, tacky one. And then this can fit perfectly in 10K. Here you're still figuring out you don't necessarily need it yet. When you're doing already 10K a month, starting to pick something up. This isn't even successful yet. This is just pick something up. Urgency apps can be helpful. All right, there we go, guys. That's my take on everything. I think that's the most important systems to work. So if you're trying to like scale whatever stage you're at, your 1K, 10K, 100K a month, screenshot that. That's the order I would have things focused on. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think it was super valuable for you guys to learn, to kind of keep in mind at what stage you're at, to really emphasis and put focus on. And yeah, make sure to drop a comment if you have any questions. I answer practically almost all the comments. And then I'll get to you guys there, and let's just talk about it. Thank you so much for watching the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one.